A position function of an object is s of t equals 12t minus 3t squared, where t in seconds, s in meters, and north is plus and south is minus. In A, determine the object's average velocity from time equals 2 seconds to time equals 5 seconds. So the average velocity equals to the change in the position over the change in time. This is expanded, the two positions subtracted divided by the 2 time points subtracted. So in the numerator, with the 2 time points are 2 and 5 seconds. So it's going to be s of 5 minus s of 2 divided by 5 minus 2. So if we expand this in the numerator, we're going to get 12 times s minus, not s5, sorry. Minus 3 times 5 squared minus 12 times 2 minus 3 times 2 squared divided by 3. Now if we evaluate the numerator here, we're going to end up with negative 15 minus 12 divided by 3. This is negative 27 over 3, which equals to negative 9 meters per second. So the negative sign here means that we are moving south at 9 meters per second. 9 meters per second south. In B, determine the object's velocity when it is located 63 meters south of the origin. So we're talking about an object's velocity, instantaneous velocity. So v of t is defined as the derivative of the position function, so ds dt, which equals s prime of t, which if we differentiate the following function, we're going to get 12 minus 6t. Now, in order to determine the object's velocity, we're going to need to have the time. And so we need to determine the time using that original function. So determine t using the original position function. And so we know that the position is 63 meters south. So that means that south is represented by a negative sign. So it means it's going to be negative 63 meters. So we can now replace the s of t with negative 63. And solve it for t. We can factor out t. No, not factor out t. We want to move everything over to the same side. Sorry. So we want to do 12t minus 3t squared plus 63 equals to 0. We want to rearrange this so we have the t squared term first. We also don't want it to be negative. So we just reverse all the signs. So it's going to be 3t squared minus 12t minus 63. We can factor out a 3 as the greatest common factor, which leaves us with t squared minus 4t minus 21. Now we have a trinomial that we can factor. So if we factor this trinomial, we're going to get t plus 3 times t minus 7. And then using the zero product theorem, we can now determine that t equals either negative 3 or positive 7. Now, negative 3, time cannot be negative, so we're going to reject that root in this context, and we're going to be using the t equals 7 seconds. So that's the number, the time that we're going to be plugging in right there. So we're just now moving from here down to here. So it's going to be equal to 12 minus 6 times 7, which equals to negative 30 meters per second, which means that we're moving 30 meters per second south.